What's up, dudes? Welcome back to I'm Trying Dude, episode 5, season 3. Today, we're going to keep it a little bit lighter than last week. We covered addiction. Today, we're going to talk about how to get that girl, or how to at least make your very best attempt at doing so. We're catching up, a couple of major life changes for both Dan and myself, and some random ass stories that you'll hopefully enjoy a whole lot. So tune in for today, starting right now. Yes, missed it.
I mean, I don't know about the mouse thing.
No one cares.
What is
Are you
that?
rapping on this?
Wait, you want me to?
I thought that's what we...
Hold on. No, wait.
Do better.
I'm trying.
Dude.
Oh, I bet you're really pretty, aren't you? Yeah, I bet you're such a good-looking guy.
As he sits here with a brand new buzz cut, looking like... Oh, yeah, sure. You already cracked it once before we started rolling. Then he
New
does it
Dan
again
doesn't give a fuck, dude. New Dan doesn't give a fuck.
New Dan's sunglasses are not only to be worn inside, they also match the color of your spindrift.
Hell yeah.
That's how fucking branded you are.
Cheers.
My God, dude,
brother.
black and pink goes hard. Hey, man.
Word to every porn I've ever watched. Straight up, dude.
Off to a good start.
JK, what's
Fuck
good,
yeah.
guy? New Dan doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Today's gonna be a little different than last week.
Yeah.
Very, very depresso with the whole.
No, I
Not
thought, dude,
depresso.
last week was a great episode. I think I learned a lot.
It was my TED talk, so I'm
It
glad.
was.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I learned a lot. It was cool, man. It was cool to get into it. It was cool to learn about
I think it was
stuff.
a good conversation. But you know what? We are, we are trying to be better. We're trying to, tackle our demons and whatnot. We're also trying to have a little bit of fun, dudes.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, dude.
today, Dan sets the tone, which will be interesting.
Yeah, our topic's a little different today.
It's different.
But-
You heard it in the intro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but dude,
How to get them dudes.
yeah, dude, I learned so much last episode. I was like, I got to be more like Marcel. That I buzzed my hair. I was like,
Nice.
yeah.
See?
What do you think?
Dude, I think it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, that little cowlick situation,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a little
you'll grow into. I think you got to go a little shorter just in the front. That's
Mm.
something you like. As someone who's now, successfully rocked a buzz cut for quite some time.
Seasoned
A
buzz cut veteran.
Also called a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
Because buzz cut. You grow into like finding different lengths for like to make it work for your hair, but like I think
sure.
you look super hard. I'm super hard just
Yeah,
looking at you.
dude, same.
It's it's awesome. No, I think it's really cool. What
Thanks,
do you?
man. No, dude, I
drop
love
some
it.
comments. I don't know.
I truly think it's given me like a new personality. I feel
Yeah.
like I like shaved it off, and I was like, oh my god, I was scared at first because I'm so dude. I've had the same.
It's a weird feeling. Hey,
hairstyle since I want to say like high school, like middle school, high school. I've always had like this like faux hawk, kind of longer up top, play around with it, like in like different iterations of it, but never.
faux hawk.
Yeah, like a fake mohawk, faux hawk. You ever had
A
that?
mohawk. You
Faux
would
hawk.
consider. I know what a faux hawk is. You would consider what you had a faux hawk.
Oh no, not what I had like most recently, but like back in like middle school, high school.
Oh
Yeah,
my
faux
God!
hawk was,
Then
like, my
okay,
thing.
yeah. So then you had okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, is this man under the assumption that he was rocking a faux hawk this whole time? Like it's not a faux hawk, dude.
No. I had a faux hawk, and then I had like this like longer kind of on top thing for like the entirety of my time in New York. So like, let's try
Yeah,
something
okay.
new.
Nice.
I think it's
That's awesome.
I'm like I feel harder.
For guys like us that are like very bubbly, very like nah, it's nice to have a little bit
Yeah, I
of
feel like it gives me a little bit of
edge.
an edge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love edging.
It's nice. Hell yeah! Drop
How
some
have you-
comments.
how-
Let me know what you guys
How
think.
have you been, man? How was your weekend with more ventilation up top?
Oh, it was cool, dude. I ran the Brooklyn Half Marathon.
Oh my God, dude! Holy shit! Didn't
Yeah.
check in. How the fuck
Dude,
did it go?
It was so much fun.
Good luck with that. And how'd it go?
Yeah, thanks. It went well. It was great. I was pacing a friend. It was her first half marathon ever. So
Nice.
her goal was sub 3 hours.
Pacing a woman.
Yeah.
You know.
So
I don't want to have said
definitely
that.
gonna
There's
cut
so
that
many- No, we can leave it in because I want to follow it up with there is literally an infinite amount of women that run faster than I do. It's just a dumb joke.
oh,
Grow
yeah,
up.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, grow up. Grow
Fuck.
down. Grow down. Dude.
Roll down.
No, it was great. Her goal was sub 3 hours, and we hit that, and it was a blast, dude. It was so much fun. Course was great. Beautiful day for it. It was a little warm. Insane story. Someone actually, I think, died on the course, like a 31-year-old or something. I don't know the full story, so I could just be like, pulling from like different memories people told me, but I think it was like a 31-year-old who had like a heart attack
Oh, fuck.
because of the heat and fucking died, which is crazy.
Damn, that's what was it that hot on a day
I
in
mean,
May?
I don't think it was that hot, but I think there's it's probably some freak
dude,
like
even a half marathon is a lot for a body.
Yeah.
If you maybe didn't train and then some heat and shit, that's fucking horrible.
long story short or longer, I guess. It was dope. Beautiful course, great day for it, a little humid, but it was awesome. I had a blast. And dude, I was actually funny. I don't know if you saw this in my stories. I posted on my stories, but so I was running, and part of the course goes through Prospect Park, which is like the park I run every single time I go for a freaking run. So I was like, all right, familiar territory. So I'm like, jogging, running, and feeling myself, having a good time, smiling. And there's people like walking along the side as the runners are going their own way, and this guy's like kind of meandering, and I'm like smiling, so I kind of smile at him, and he looks at me and he's like, I don't know you like that. Stop fucking smiling at me.
No.
As I'm jogging, like, hey,
running a half
like,
marathon.
fuck you. Who the fuck you think you? I don't know you like that. Stop smiling in my face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, that is, and I started laughing.
I fucking bet.
I was like, this is hilarious.
Southeast side of the park, though.
So fun. Yeah. Dude,
I used to
so
run there a
fun.
lot too. It's really funny. Like running Prospect Park is really fucking funny because you run through different economic areas, like by a long shot. You're from really affordable living in Brooklyn to like expensive ass yuppie young family like super preppy type shit in one lap, and like you feel it. It's crazy.
It was funny though. I remember I passed a guy, I was like, I gotta talk about this on the podcast. That's funny. Like that's but other than that, dude, it was great.
You didn't love that part the most?
No, I mean it was fun. Dude, honestly, I was like crossing the
story.
finish line with like seeing my friend's reaction crossing the finish line after the first half was like the crazy. I was like, dude, like it's so nice for her. She was like, I don't know if I could do this. To now like I can do this. I'm hearing her talk like I can do this. I'm like, but yeah, you fucking can. Go get it.
Yeah, dude.
It was awesome.
That's wonderful.
So that was great. And then Sunday was very much just kind of chill, walking around. I was in Maine for a bit. I didn't even tell you about that. I was in Maine. Like,
you had a job.
Yeah, I was shooting with Fidelity, like just like some Talking Head stuff. But dude, Portland, Maine is beautiful.
Fucking stunning.
I'd never been.
Right?
It's my first time going.
Wait, have I been? Portland. Yeah, I have.
There's
Last
two
year I
Portlands.
was.
There's Maine
the
and
Portland,
Oregon.
I know, but Portland, Maine is. I mean, Maine I've been. I don't know if I've been to Portland.
It was cute.
Yeah,
very
it's
cute.
a lovely little corner of the state.
Awesome.
The United States are so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like there's so many dope spots. Like I used to judge Americans when I came here. I'm like, what do you mean you haven't been to another country?
Yeah.
Fucking like you uncultured swine.
There's so many states.
There's so many states. And they're like, yes, there's not maybe like a massive difference in cuisine or culture for a lot of things, but enough of a distance, and especially the nature.
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Yeah. So that was it was good. I'm having a good time out here. Yeah.
Ran a halfie. Sporting a semi right now.
How was your weekend, dude?
It was, oh my, was it a weekend?
Oh, really?
I've got some big news.
Really?
Yeah.
Big news.
I've got big news. I broke my sobriety on Friday.
Wait, really?
Because of my boys. It was at the end of the day, like it was my boys
with drinking.
With drinking.
Oh wow.
I had a few glasses of wine on Friday.
Really?
It was my boys, like one of my literally oldest friends, bachelor, and I was like, I'm not gonna get wasted. But I was like, you know what? Like I was really in the mood for it. I wasn't trying to cover up any emotions now that we covered addiction. And I feel like I honestly because we talked so much about it last episode, I felt like I knew exactly where I was at while I was doing it, before I was doing it, why I was doing it. And I knew that it would be like a Friday night thing, and I wasn't even planning on like repeating it the next day because I'm like, that's already pushing. And then, now I'm cruising again, probably till we're back in Italy, which I talked about. So like I'm good. But my guy, wait, hold up. Okay, so I was in Antwerp. Yeah, for those who don't know. I was in Antwerp for one of my longest friends' bachelor parties. And I arrived there a day early. Flight was good, slept, had like, this perfect trip. Arrived, took a quick 10-minute nap, walked around solo. The weather was beautiful. Antwerp is a beautiful, stunning city, like fucking gorgeous. Just a day of solo travel was wonderful. I was like wearing a fly fit just for myself, hanging out in a cafe, reading my book, was reading The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Nice.
Like fucking, like it was just vibes, okay? And then sleep for a night, wonderful. Wake up feeling so rested. Shoot like 4 reels with all the stuff that I packed.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like I was on
productive
one. I was
on vacation.
on vacation, but like it was fun. It was easy. I went climbing on a Friday morning. I visited a different climbing gym in Antwerp because I'm like, this is something I do now, and like it was super cool. It was beautiful. It was a great experience. Even after I spilled my coffee over my only sweatpants that I had with me immediately when leaving the house, super fun. And then I met my buddy he's one of like the OGs of blogging. in Europe. He was like he was doing it in Belgium when nobody else was for like a solid 2 years before anybody else even tapped in. Matthias Geertz, I don't know if the name rings a bell, but like he wasn't never huge, but like we knew each other from like lookbook days, like which predates anything that like, influencer Instagram era. And it was lovely seeing him. So all in all, this awesome trip. Then I see my boy, he's super surprised. He's like, oh my God, he actually made it from New York. I didn't think, like, I even told him I was gonna months ago, and he like kind of forgot. So he was super stoked. Had a few drinks, had a wonderful day. Ended up playing Rage Cage. I was just sipping on wine still. Rage Cage, whether you got to hit the ball in the cup, and once you do it, you can pass it over.
You slap it?
No. So like if you get it in on the first attempt, you pass it to some. There's 2 cups in a round.
Yeah, this is a slap cup.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No, we don't slap it. No.
If someone's next to you and you get the ball in
cage.
Before their ball goes in, you can slap their cup and they pull a new one.
Oh, fun.
No?
Similar.
Oh.
No, it's the same idea but with stacking as Rage Cage.
Okay.
So once you get it, if you get it in on the first try, you can pass it to whoever. If you get it in on a second, third, or anyone, you pass it to the left.
Okay.
And you can only stack it if you pass it to the left. Or like the person to your, like if you were on my right, you just stacked it. I'm still struggling. You can stack it before my ball gets in. This goes on. I chuck that cup. And then it continues going, right? But like we didn't play with booze in the middle. It was just kind of like drinking game for the game part, not the drinking part.
Right.
Which all of that was fun. I was a little bit tipsy. I was not drunk. I was really like, and then I stopped drinking at some point. I was like, this was wonderful. We played just a wonderful bachelor party start.
Yes.
I was the one that said, like, you know what, boys, let's wrap it up early. It was like midnight, 12:30. Let's be well rested for tomorrow. I get up at 6 a.m. In cramps, I stumble to the bathroom. Oh, no. I shit my brains out.
You got the AIDS.
I shit my brains out. Like I spray paint that fucking bowl brown.
Have you heard of AIDS? The alcohol-induced dribble shits?
I was willing to like forego that as
I
a
know,
bad
I was
joke.
like, you didn't laugh, and I know it's because you don't know what I mean.
Alcohol-induced dribble shits.
Alcohol-induced dribble shits.
I wish it was that, my guy.
They were just full on, just
a solid 15 minutes into the shit. I'm spray vomiting. Like I'm within 3 heaves, I'm empty.
Spray vomiting.
Empty within 3 heaves, and then I spent the next hour and a half on that in that bathroom by myself, in between just lying on the cold ground because I felt miserable, and spent the entire next day, Saturday, the bulk of the bachelor party for which I flew to Antwerp in bed.
You're kidding.
Convulsing, body aches, novovirus.
Novovirus?
I thought it was food poisoning.
I was like, dude, what?
I thought for a quick second, I thought this was alcohol. Like my body's not used to it. I'm sure it played a part in it. And look, in my head, I'm marking this as like alcohol, not good for you. Remember last time you drank?
Yeah.
Which is honestly like, I think for me it was a test. I'm not even sure I'm going to drink again. Honestly, this was like it was nice. But what was nicest about it was like the first sip of like tasting it, maybe a second, but like I don't need a full glass. Like I'm noticing my enjoyment for wine is not necessarily linked to the entire experience of like drinking the whole night. It's not that. So it was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful trip. It sucked that I had to miss out, but they literally ended up spending the entire day drinking. They didn't even make it to the club at night.
Really?
Because they were all just like too plastic.
That always is how it happens.
It's always how it happens.
The first night, like they're like, we're gonna drink all day, and then it's like, guys, it's 7 p.m. and I want to die. Dude, novovirus. That's so brutal.
Well, I mean, that's my fucking diagnosis. Everybody's like, it's food poisoning. I'm like, I ate everything that my buddy ate. He didn't get it. I ate everything that y'all ate. Y'all didn't get it. It makes no sense. And everything I ate was high quality out there. So like, it was still a wonderful trip. But like, I traveled back very weakly yesterday. It was rough. It was like I was on cloud 9, and then I was like fucking in hell, just rotting.
God, that's awful.
So that was my weekend. But I spent the majority of the flight reading. Finished The Alchemist, which is a wonderful book for those of you who haven't read it. Like I've been wanting to read it for ages. You read it?
I should read it again.
That's one of the. I would give it I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. Like I think it's a little slow, it's a little draggy, and it's very on the nose wisdom type thing. I think. But I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. And now I started The Last Bookstore, which is like all the rage right now. Everybody's like it's got like 150,000, 4.5, 4.6 star reviews. Like crazy.
The Last Bookstore.
The Last Bookstore, which ironically is a great story as far as I've read. 150 pages. That is for book lovers specifically because it's about a bookstore and about the meaning of books type shit. Like it's a novel, but really cool. That's the That's sad.
Chalk that one up on books that are on my list that I say I'm going to read, and then it'll take me forever to get to.
Dude, maybe one day you'll hit. Like, I feel like I really turned a page. I feel like now I've stopped reading.
No pun intended. Yeah, I get it. You're real clever, dude.
What?
You said, I feel like we're talking about books, and you're like, I've really turned a page.
Oh my god!
I was like, yeah.
See,
okay.
I'm just so good at this shit.
Don't even think about it anymore.
No, deadass.
Sure,
no, I didn't even notice that. I should have.
Dude.
That's dumb. That was dumb. No, I feel like I really have turned a page. Once I realized that, like, what throws me off of reading sometimes is the fact that I feel like I'm not reading fast enough. Like, because I'm trying to do it to improve. Like, we've talked about this so much. We know this about me. We're like, I'm trying to impress.
Nerdy, like, I read fast. Like, you tell people I read fast.
Exactly. And I've just stopped doing that. And once that clicked, I'm like, oh my God, reading can be so much fun. Like, I'm truly now getting sucked into, especially now that I'm reading novels, I'm getting sucked into the story, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, even really hurt. I had a really productive flight back, which also feels so great. And I did a lot of Duolingo.
Dude, I was just thinking about Duolingo. I was like, brother, we gotta talk about that because you put me onto the family plan, like the max thing. Which, I mean,
it's a family matter now.
It's like, which is, well, I'll say great because I feel like I see your progress and it's like, oh, Marcel did this today. And I'm like, all right, well, it's like the gamification of the whole thing I really enjoy. I think people say that it's like a downside because it's like, oh, Duolingo just gamifies language learning. I'm like, dude, I feel like I need that.
For someone who doesn't do it, like, it's better than nothing.
Absolutely.
If you right? Like,
yeah. So, dude, I've been loving it so far. I think I'm on like an 11-day streak or something, or 12 days,
dude,
which is nice. I get my high. I'm like, see, Marcel high-fived him. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm back in it, dude. The little Duolingo, like his little icons for like, don't forget about me, and like, they're so funny.
You have the widget on, like the larger one.
Yeah, the little widget. So like, it's him like on fire or like scratching his own eyes out, and he's like, you're gonna do your lesson, dude. It's so fun.
Do you follow Duolingo on Instagram?
Yeah,
one of the best follows I think there is. Like, their social media team is like.
I hope they're getting paid buku bucks, dude.
Like dumb money, please. Like, they're so smart. They're so smart with their shit.
Funny.
Yeah. If you don't want to learn a language, just follow Duolingo.
It's
like,
just like hilarious content.
It's actually like I think I get some of my pop news like from Duolingo. Like, I get meme references because they hop on the trend before anybody else will. Like, they're more Gen Z than Gen Z is. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Dude, they're funny. Yeah. One of my favorite things about Duolingo is that you can video call. Like, it's not a real video call. It's like a fake video call with one of the characters. Like,
I told you would love that. Like, dude, it's very beneficial because it actually gets you talking.
Yeah,
it gets you talking. Like, because that's the big thing with languages and why Duolingo gets so often criticized. Yes. It's like, you just repeat or you speak out loud, but with that you actually have to create a conversation.
Yes,
which is fucking dope.
And then after the combo, you get notes on how you're doing.
Exactly.
Or like how you can improve what you've said or whatever, which is great. I like it, and I think it's so funny because I get like a little nervous before the call, and it's
weird. I can't look at her.
I'm like, oh man, you can't. I can't look away from her, bro. I can't stop looking at her. Dude, for those of you who don't know Duolingo, the person you chat with is Lily. It's like this, like they play her off as like this emo-y, like I don't care about anything kind of girl with like hair over one side. I have never been more attracted to a cartoon character in my life, dude. Every time that I go to FaceTime Lily on Duolingo, I get a little bite. I get a little nervous and I'm like,
Hola,
oh,
Lily.
What am I gonna say to you? I'm so nervous. And it's so funny because she could not give a shit, dude. Anything that we talk about is like, it's built into Duolingo's program or whatever. She's like, ¿Te gustan las manzanas? And I'm like, sí, me encantan las manzanas, pero quiero casarme contigo porque es muy bonita.
We gotta translate a little bit. You like apples?
It's just like, she's like, do you like apples? And I'm like, yes, I love apples, but I want to marry you. And she's like, well, I
gotta be freaking out.
She's gonna be like, are you serious right now? Anyway,
it's like Her on Crack, the movie Her on Crack.
Yeah,
like,
but it's the fact that this like little fictional cartoon character could not give any less of a shit about what I'm talking about or like that I exist that I think gets me so like, oh, I can't wait to talk to Lily today, dude. Like, it gets me so hyped. That's why I came up with the idea of the topic today being like stuff like dumb shit and lengths that we've gone to try to impress women.
It's a wonderful segue, dude. It's a wonderful segue. I love that, dude. I mean, like on a dumb level, it's like, this is so fucking dumb. But if you look at it from another perspective, like we ended up talking about Duolingo, like self improvement languages, which ended up to now put us back into a conversation of like dating, which we haven't talked about a lot. We haven't shared about
done dating in a while.
Exactly, neither of us have, and I think you know, like I think sometimes it feels weird doing it because dating changes so quickly today. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's not the same shit.
No.
But at the end of the day, I think some universal truths also still just kind of fucking reign. I'd love to know what you were like dating and what you were like trying to get girls. Because you're like yet again another new version of Dan sitting right in front of me. But like the Dan you were before the Buzzcut was also still a different Dan to like high school and college Dan, right?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, dude. I'm like, I think people have a misconception I'm like really suave and like cool and like just I'm so fucking awkward and nervous around girls, dude. Like it's so bad. Like I tell Miliana this too. I'm like, because we met on Hinge, right? So she's always asked me, she's like, oh, like if we were to see each other at a bar, like do you think you would have said anything? And I'm like, honestly, no. I probably would have been like, wow, you're so gorgeous. I'm never gonna talk to you because I'm too scared. Like she's like, I was like, would you have said something? She's like, I would have made eyes at you, and I was like, all right, that would have been enough for me to be like, oh, okay, cool, but I don't know if we're gonna talk because what if you're looking at somebody who's not me? You know, I'm like so bad with that shit.
No, for sure. Like I am too, to the point that like Clara knows this now. And like I'll tell a story and I'll be like, yeah, I would just go. Like I'll be with my friends like dumb joking about macho and chili. I'll be like, no, you wouldn't. Yeah, you're right. I absolutely fucking
you're
right. But still, okay. So I had my way about going for potential paramours in the past.
Ooh, potential paramours.
Look at that. He's reading more. His vocabulary is expanding. Can
you, for those of us who don't know what paramour means, just tell us what paramour means?
Partners.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all right, cool.
And I actually don't think
that's a band, and I was like, all right, nice.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I know that word from How I Met Your Mother. I don't know it from a book. So I was like, so I literally am quoting Barney Stinson. That's where I know. And
I love how you said, "Oh, I'm reading more. It's my vocabulary." So you pulled it from fucking How I Met Your Mother.
Whoops.
Love it. That's great, dude. I love that.
No, but tell me the first time you felt like you fought for a girl, and how did you fight?
Oh, dude, first time I felt like I fought for a girl. Wow.
If only he would have known what the topic of today's episode was to prepare for this.
Well, this is the thing is I have some stories. There's dumb shit that I've done. But I don't know, like fighting for a girl. I mean, I've definitely like, I was definitely like an overtexter. Like I've overtexted a lot. Like if they, like I was, because when I first started texting, I didn't realize like, you could take a break from texting and like step away from your phone. I imagine it was like you text, you get a response, and you just instantaneously, and you just keep
talking the whole.
You keep that up forever,
right?
You know, dude. I don't know. First time I fought for a girl. Well, like, okay.
Well, why don't you just?
No, you're right. The first time that I fought for a girl, I really was like, okay, this is like I'm into this woman.
Presumably.
Girl, yeah.
Unless you were skewing real old.
This is so bad. No, it's not that bad. You've heard the story, but for the podcast, this is like my first blunder, I think, where I was like the girl was a year older than me. And I thought she was like...
How old were you?
I was a junior in college, so 2021-ish, I think.
Super recent. It's like fucking yesterday.
10 years ago. What do you mean? No, not the year 2021.
Oh,
I think I was 20 or 21 years old.
That's dumb, dude. That's 4 years ago. Like,
no.
Was that right before M? Like,
no, imagine. Yeah. No, dude. So I was probably like 20 or 21. I think I was junior in college, and this girl was a year older than me, and already that off the bat, like me being with an older girl was like so scary. Because I'm like, oh, dude, like, she knows things. She's more experienced. She probably wants like a mature older guy, whatever. It was the summer that I was leaving Vermont, I think, because I went to school in Vermont, and I had to like pack up the entirety of my house. I was living in a house at the time with 3 other guys. I had to pack up the whole fucking house because they just left me to do the whole thing. They were like, one had to work, 2 didn't give a shit. It was. I ended up cleaning this entire house by myself, putting all the stuff on the lawn. Yeah.
Dumb.
And I had like an '07 Toyota Corolla, which is like a shitty little 4-door sedan, silver. And I packed all my stuff into this car, right? Because I was moving.
Right.
So this girl was like, "Oh, I am going to be in Connecticut for like this weekend thing. You should totally come because we're going to have this like beach house to ourselves." And I was like, "Oh my God, yes, this sounds awesome."
You could like walk on the beach.
Oh, dude.
Hold hands.
Yeah, man. Like,
Cuddle.
and it was just like, okay, you're inviting me to this like beach house to be with like just you and like, and I was like so into this girl. And I was like, yes, sounds good, whatever. My job was wrapping up. I was like, okay, so I had my car that was packed full of my entire life. Everything that I had was in the back seat. I couldn't look out the rear view because there was just piled high with shit. Right. And I left work that day, I think probably like 5 or 6-ish. And I ended up driving, I think like, it was anywhere between like 6 and 8 hours to get to this like beachy
so
town.
you emptied out the entire, I do remember the story, but like you emptied out the entire apartment, then you went to work.
Moved. So I was essentially like.
You're moving, then going to work.
Yeah, go to work. Go to work with children. Yeah, I would go to work as like a day camp counselor with like all these little kids.
They were well supervised that day.
So great.
Yeah.
My head was not anywhere near those kids. I was like, what am I going to do in Connecticut? This is going to be sick.
Maybe not thoughts you should have around kids.
Yeah. We can cut that part out. We're not gonna. Let's be real. We're not gonna cut that at all. That's gonna end up being a social clip. Dude, I drive down, and it's so late. Like it's late. I'm fried. I had to move all my shit out in the morning. I have my car packed with my stuff. I go to work with these after school kids with a program for a little bit, and then I'm like, all right, it's like 6 p.m. I got to go drive to Connecticut. So it's like, I think, I forget how many hours. Let me just make sure I'm like telling this the way. I want to look up the distance between where I was and where I had to be. Okay. Right now, Google says it's 4.5. During rush hour,
sure. I was like, sure. You got to find a reason for why you went so hard over.
Let's call it 6.
Let's call it 6.
6 hours.
Yeah.
To get to this beach town.
Okay.
We had our weekend together. I was like so enamored with this girl. And then we never talked after that weekend.
Awesome.
Yeah, she was like, I think she was like talking to her ex the whole time. On like texting, but that was one of my I was like, oh man, I got here and I'm just like, I mean, we had a good time. It was cool. It was fun. It was nice. I think I was way more invested in it than she was.
Yeah.
So that was like but that was something that I thought the whole saga of having to move my apartment into my car, go to work, and then drive 6 hours just to like try to be with this girl
that's doing a lot.
I know.
Doing a lot to a sensitive little boy's
and
heart
that's
like that.
Yeah, I've got another one that's probably worse.
Way worse.
But I can't just go back to back. I need to hear it. Tell me you have a story because I remember texting. I was like, dude,
I do. I said this is going to be a Dan Heavy episode, and I thought for like 2 seconds. I was like, no. I've definitely. For questionable motives at times. Whether it was true like romantic intent, whether it was just to get in someone's pants, or whether it was to and it'll start with, and it'll also give a lot of background to like me constantly bringing up my paternal trauma. Okay. I like how I'm saying like my dad made me fuck around. You know what I mean? So I was 13, and my dad after my parents got divorced, his girlfriend who was his neighbor, that's how they met. She had a 16-year-old daughter, and her best friend was a 15-year-old girl. I was 13, she was 15.
Okay.
And my dad was like, oh, she's so beautiful, you should go for her. I was like, already, like now looking back, I'm like, I'm sure he didn't say it the way I just said. Right. Maybe just call it less creepy, but like even just to be that invested in that, he had a difficult relationship with sex, and he clearly passed that on to me. So I was 13, just turned 13. And she had just broken up with her boyfriend, who I also knew. Like I was hanging out with that crew for a bit, so like I knew them, right? Yeah. Like I was premature in that sense. Like I used to hang out with kids like a year, 2, 3 older than me. That was fairly normal, right?
For sure.
But then she just broke up, and I was like, trying to get with her. in my little German Marcel 13-year-old ways. And
did he hurt you? I hate that he hurt you. Man, that guy's such a mean guy. I would never do that.
That could be so much better for you. No, I wooed her for a long ass time.
Yeah.
I was spending time with her. I was like showing her what we could be, what I could be, and how she could feel like with me. 9 months, dude. 9 months. I endured the friend zone.
Wow.
To then have my first official girlfriend.
You made it.
I made it.
You made it.
I made it.
I mean, that's huge.
It was massive. Like we got together, like, you know, while I was 13. So I may have started to go after her while I was still 12. Like, it was stupid young. Like, even European standards, everything skews a little younger.
Yeah.
I think we're a little more open in how we raise children and like how the society kind of looks at sex overall. But yeah, she was my first serious relationship. We were together for like 10 months. Wow. We had sex. Like, it was my first time like in a relationship. Like after several months of dating. Yeah. I wasn't her first, but she was mine. No, yeah, I think so. I don't actually recall. Doesn't matter. But dude, I talked to that girl every day. Yeah. And like I met up with her and she several times reassured me like, no, don't do it. And I, you know.
Wait, no, don't do what? Like, don't fall for me type shit?
Yeah, don't expect this to turn into something.
Really?
Like, and I was like, no, it's gonna happen.
See you in 9 months. You'll change your tune then.
Like, and then she was like you're too young. Like, you know what I mean? It was 15 to 13. Yeah. It's kind of like it was a stretch.
Absolutely.
But you know that happened, and so I want to. It's you know it's me. I got to make it a little deep here, right?
For
like
sure.
even I don't think I should have done that.
Really?
Yeah, because I broke up with her 10 months later because I was like, she was just not the person for me.
Okay.
I was doing that not for her. I was doing that for me / for my father. Yeah. Like, I was literally like, my first dating experience, proper dating experience, was literally because my dad said, you should go for her.
Really?
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, she was sweet and all, but like, I literally like that. As soon as he said that, didn't matter. Nothing else mattered. I was like, I got it. And that's what set the tone for like a long time. And like, that's why it took so long to like kind of like get out of that habit of thinking, like even just like how to think about women, lock that down type shit. Yeah. Which obviously is a way that men talk about women, thankfully, at least behind closed doors often, if you're not a complete fucking moron. Yeah. Oftentimes jokingly, but more often than not, there's like always a feeling of they actually mean it. Yeah. Because they don't, you know, like Kanye said that, and not that I want to be quoting Kanye, but this is an older song. I think like separating the art from the artist here, because fuck Kanye. Where he said, "What?" I'm gonna cut the bit out, but like I actually think it's a fairly newer song.
Brief hold while Marcel goes.
No, we're cutting all of this out.
The Kanye West discography to find this.
Violent Crimes.
By Kanye? It's a Frank Ocean song.
It's a newer song actually, but like men suck until they understand and start viewing women from another perspective. Like they start and he says it in another line that I'm not going to look for because we don't need to cut another bit out. You go from treating women with respect rather than as objects, right? And like this is something that I think the generations following are doing a great job at. But nonetheless, I also do still think all of this had like a very romantic thing to it, right? Like I wasn't pressuring, like I was being there, I was being attentive, I was trying to like woo her, really. Yeah. And I think there's a beauty in that. You just got to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, right? Like with your first story, do you feel like, was motivation just like, what was the motivation? Were you just truly enamored?
No, I think I was like so enamored, and I think I could tell that she was like not. It was like I think I was more fun for her than like a serious relationship. So I was like, I want to do things that show you that I'm happy to go the extra mile, and I know that you've had some rough patches with other people who like don't try as hard or whatever. Like I'm happy to put in the work to be a better guy for you. She was like, yeah, no thanks, I'm good. I'm so good.
Hit me with the worst one.
Yeah. I'll actually go back, talk to my ex if that's fine. No, it was good. It was fine. It was good. I learned my lesson. Definitely broke me a little bit. Went through a heavy, I think after that, I was listening to exclusively like The Weeknd and, just going
The Weeknd
The Weeknd.
Is your breakup songs?
Yeah, so, well, because the weekend I feel like he has like an energy that's like I'm the fucking man. I don't need girls at all.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I don't care,
dude. That's so. I don't get mad. I get even of you.
Yeah.
Like it's literally
I just can't.
Dude, like I was in my when even after I broke up, like when I couldn't get her, when I couldn't get her for all those months, dude. Burn by Usher.
Oh, dude, bro, dude. Okay, dude. Same. I think you're burned by Usher's like Mario, Let Me Love You.
Oh no, same. Also the same
Dude,
same era, same thing.
I like my entire romantic life. I feel like was through a '90s like R&B.
That's 2000s.
2000s R&B
for sure.
track.
For sure.
Like that, excuse me, miss. Like all I wanted was to just dance up on a girl and be like, excuse me, miss. I saw you from across the room. And they'd be like, oh my God, you can dance and you can sing. You're so like, yes. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
I was such a hopeless romantic in that regard of like, if I liked a girl and she was, in a relationship or liked somebody else and the guy was clearly a bad guy, I was like, but you should let me love you. Like that, like, dude, so anyway. That's that interesting story. That's funny.
I don't know. I don't know. Funny.
Well, not funny, but
but like interesting.
Yeah.
Like you said, the first bit.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. You're right. It was funny.
Hit me with that's what I said before, but you didn't understand me right. I said, hit me with the worst one. Hit me with the worst.
Yeah, dude, the worst one. The worst one's definitely a down bad situation. It goes back. So I was in high school. I did a trip. That was like a student exchange trip, foreign exchange trips. Like you host kids and then you go to Spain or wherever you go and the kids host you, foreign exchange. I don't know how to fucking explain that. Like that's a weird
To be
concept.
fair, I looked at you with an empty look because I was looking at thinking about something else for a second.
Okay.
So like you were responding to my face. It's all good.
Anyway, so there was a girl there, cute, who I didn't really have like feelings for or anything. She was just like, cute, whatever. We were friendly and then we left and stayed in touch. Cause like you kind of stay in touch with these people or whatever. I had moved to, she blew up, on like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, making like makeup tutorials of like, how to look like a fairy or like a mermaid. And she's like a very accomplished like painter.
On faces.
But also like on canvas, like just crazy artist. So she hit me up years later and was like, hey, I'm going to be in, New York. Would love to see you if you're like in the city or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I haven't seen you in fucking forever. And like now she's like gorgeous. I was like, oh man, sick. Yeah, I absolutely want to come see you. This is probably like 2017. I think it was like 2017, 2018. 2018. This is 2018 because I know where I was living. And she's like, I'm coming to the city. I want you to meet some of my friends. Like, we should all get together. And I was like, absolutely. So I had her over. We were chilling, kicking it. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. We're like, no time has passed. We're just catching up like old friends or whatever. So I know she's getting ready to go back to LA because she lives in LA. So I get her, like, I don't know why. We had like some talk about like some chocolates or something she wanted. She's like, oh, I love chocolate, but like it's a specific kind of chocolate. So I was like, all right, well, as she's like getting ready to leave, I had picked up some of these chocolate bars and like I wrote a little note and put in one, like a Willy Wonka fucking golden ticket. I was like, oh yeah, she's going to lose her mind. It was like a, some sappy little letter. I was like, it was so great to see you. Like, I am so happy you're doing well. Like, would love to see you again. Like, please let me know if you're in town or whatever.
So cute.
Just man. Like, in a little chocolate thing, already wrapped the package up. Cool.
Yeah.
So she texts me and is like, oh my God, I got your note. That's like the sweetest thing ever. Like, that's so kind. Like, it was awesome seeing you, whatever. Please let me know if you're in LA.
Did she say that was so kind?
I think so.
That's
absolutely. I was like, it was one of those like, thanks, but no thanks.
But like, you're a kind soul.
Yeah. You're such a good brother like figure.
It's great talking to you. I love talking to you.
So she says, if you're ever in LA, let me know. And I'm like,
God, flies out.
So I'm like, how do I get to LA? I have another friend who texts me coincidentally around the same time. I feel like, it's like one of those when it rains it pours situations. Right. And he goes, bro, let's do a marathon. And I was like, a marathon? I've never run a marathon before.
Okay.
And he goes, LA's got a marathon. And I was like, LA's got a marathon. And funny enough, I'm trying to get out there. So he's like, would you sign up with me? Dude, signed up.
Dude, that's fucking amazing.
Signed up.
She's the reason you signed up for that shit. Tell me, that was your first?
First marathon.
That's amazing.
I was trying to get in there so bad. I signed up for a marathon in November.
26 miles.
Yeah.
Say less.
Done. That'll get me to Los Angeles. Done.
How far ahead was that? Like,
This was like October, November.
okay. So
Marathons in
March.
March.
Yeah. That's
So
that's a long play for
up,
having.
I was like, okay. So I signed up, and I was like, funny enough, I'm actually going to be there for the marathon or whatever.
Thinking like that sounds good
I was
too.
like, yeah, it sounds great. I'm actually going to be there, and I'm going to be in town. Trained for the marathon through the winter, dude. Through the winter in New York City.
I've done that. Yeah.
Sucks.
Fucking sucks.
Brutal. And all I can think of in my head was like, man, I can't wait to get out to LA. This is going to be so good. This is going to be awesome. Fucking dude, train the entirety of the winter, get out there, do the race, meet up with her, I think, for drinks. It was either the night of the race or like the night after the night of the race, and I could just tell it was like she felt so bad that I was out there. There was like a pity, like, yeah, we'll get drinks. And it was like I was like, oh man, this is not going the way that I want it to go. I think she was like telling me about some boy she was with, or like, you know, like saying like, oh, I've actually started talking to like somebody, and I was like,
yeah.
So and then at that point, like, it's just,
I gotta ask really quick. Like, did you? What was your communication like those 5 months in between?
I don't know.
I
don't remember. I don't know if I
was not looking for red flags.
Well, I think I was trying to like play it cool and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be out there at this time,
and just left it be,
and just kind of let it like sit a little bit. I think we like, might have like DM'd back and forth, like sent some memes or something, but it wasn't like, dude, like nowhere, nothing about
not a FaceTime even occasionally.
Nothing
like,
about any of our interactions read like,
yeah.
Hey, I'm excited to see you in LA so we can have a relationship.
Yeah.
It was me training my ass off with vivid daydreams and visions in my head of how great it was going to go once I got to Los Angeles. So yeah, I did that. I trained, ran 26.2 miles, and then got a fucking Shirley Temple, I guess. Dude, I don't know.
That's
but that
crazy.
was probably the most down bad thing I've ever done to try to get with a girl is run a literal marathon.
It's funny that you keep saying down bad. That's because that's not down bad. That's just like fucking crazy.
Well, it's like,
but like in a good way, right? Like
no,
almost
I think like down
like
bad.
in a bad.
It's like man, I'm like, no, I guess not
like,
down bad, but like,
you know, maybe
like cringy, like, oh fuck, I
like,
was so desperate to like, I was like, this is,
yeah,
I like this one. It
think
feels
she's the
good. Fucking run a marathon.
How did you? How dare you get in good shape and do something fucking incredible that most people dream of doing, maybe like being able to do in their lifetime. That's fucking awesome. I had no idea that's what your like main motivation was to like get started on the running journey. Which,
dude, crazy.
Low key, I gotta thank her because you ended up being the one.
Oh really?
You're the main inspiration for why I ran the marathon, right?
Wow.
Like I always wanted to do it, but you were like just doing it. And I was like, yeah, why the fuck? I could just do it. So I gotta. Wait, what's her name? I gotta hit her up.
I can't say her name. I could, but
we're not.
I'll tell you after.
We're not gonna do it. I really don't need to know.
Funny story.
I'm not gonna thank
funny story
her.
Now is,
so you know.
I think after, dude. The craziest part is I'm pretty sure after all this, when I left LA, I could no longer find her on Instagram. I think she blocked me. So I looked, I was like, where the fuck is her profile? Did she delete it? I was like, I guess she was going through some stuff. Like, she did tell me that she didn't like Instagram. Like, she didn't really like social media as much as trying to get away from it. Did she fucking delete her account? Definitely just blocked me.
You were so blindsided. You didn't even realize that you got blocked. That's fucking insane.
I was like, man, this is weird. Like, she must have just deleted Instagram.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
In fairness, though, I did show up and fucking. I mean, that's a lot to do. That's a lot.
Yeah. But like, look, at least you did fucking like you did that to your own benefit, right? Like that was fucking awesome. Like you ran a marathon, you ran several since, and like it's this awesome thing. It's like something good came of it. Like I don't think I just said 9 months, but 9 months of hanging out and like like going for walks and chatting, like we were having a friendship. Like, I was 9 months of being friends, like with the intent of like, hey, look, I'm fucking cool for my age type shit.
Yeah.
But 6 months of like marathon training to like then run 26.2, that's crazy.
So funny.
On the topic of dancing, so before, like it's great, like zero game between the two of us, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
zero game between
none.
the two of us. We had this platform before. This is before Facebook even. There was like a German type of version of Facebook, and this girl I talked to regularly, couldn't stop thinking about her, couldn't stop talking to her at night, right? Like, and we had this club. I was 15 or around 15. We had this club in Germany that you could get into when you were 14. You had to get out by 10. As of 10, the 16-year-olds could get in. As of well, they could get in the whole time, but by 10 you had to be out. Only 16-year-olds could be in. Midnight, 18-year-olds. So like, it was staggering.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of cool.
Cool.
But, so from 8 to 10 was a hard time, and we went there pretty much every Saturday because like I loved dancing, and like my dancing was literally just all I could do was a crep walk. Like, I was like a crep walk left and right, and my upper body was just like this, just like stiff, like not moving at all.
Yeah.
So it was just like, and I thought I was fucking killing it.
Oh,
dude.
absolutely.
So I was like, oh yeah, this time, like she used to go there every now and then too. Like, she's a little farther out. I'm like, oh, you're gonna come through? She's like, yeah, well, I'll see you there on Saturday. I'm like, bro, we talked. I know, like, there was some interest. We talked regularly, right? Like, we met on this web app, or whatever. And like, the entire night I did. Do you think I talked to her one single word? One single word, dude. Literally from a distance, like catching a glimpse. I mean, like I literally smiled at her maybe once the entire night, and then like rushed home to get on the computer. Like, did you like my dancing?
You're kidding,
Not
dude.
joking, fucking.
Dude, that's so funny though. 'Cause I feel like
So fucking embarrassing.
that's such a like a young kid thing to do. I remember I was like, there was a girl in my class who everyone was obsessed with. Soccer player, cute, like just short little brunette girl. Everyone was fucking obsessed with her. I was like, I love this girl. She dated all my friends. I'm like, I didn't even care. I just come on, and I stopped kind of like caring a little bit, and was just like leaning into like me, just like the homies, we're friends, so I just like crack jokes, make her laugh a bunch. And then eventually word got around that she was like, oh, I kind of like Dan. And I was like, oh my God. It was like you're like Inside Out or whatever, like all the characters in your head like fucking on fire, throwing like SpongeBob's head where they're like throwing stuff and like fires and like all the filing cabinets are destroyed. I went absolutely nuts. I was like, oh, it's sick. So we started dating. And then started dating. Yeah. We dated for like a day, and I was so nervous to talk to her because she was my girlfriend now, that I couldn't just act the same.
Right.
I was so fucking nervous she broke up with me the next day because I was acting too weird. I was like,
fucking awesome.
Well.
Overshot by
her.
a lot. You know what I want to do today? I want to do. We should wrap up, but like, I want to do Marcel's takeaway.
Oh,
since this is one more Europe.
Hell yeah.
Fucking cool.
You have been chatting a lot.
Huh? Damn. Yeah. Fucking cool. Look at you. Because it also goes perfectly with what you just said. Like, I think what I want to bring to this today is like, just be yourself. Like, especially like, I know when you're young, you're gonna try things, you're gonna be dumb, you're gonna make mistakes. There's trust. There's so many more stories that both of us could tell of like how we tried and failed, and how like we had many relationships or situationships that we didn't stay in until we now found the partners that we want to stay with for the rest of our lives. Yeah. And the thing is, you have to go through that shit, right? Or you don't. Like, you can avoid it, but like if you know yourself that well. But like, I think it's this process of, you put yourself out there. You think you need to change. You think you love that person, so you need to change to please that person, to like fulfill their every need. But the person that's right for you is who is right for you, and that means you need to be you. And the sooner you learn to be you, the sooner you're going to attract and show the world who you are. So even that, like, maybe that hot girl is super into who you are, and you're trying to make a fool of yourself. But just being yourself and being present, and like one thing that I will say is like will make a huge difference in trying to get girls, is trying to actually listen and understanding and be present, not to perform, not to do anything, but actually to like be curious about who they are, because that's how you find out whether you actually want to be with them. So a little bit of actual relationship advice or dating advice, where it's like, for example, going on dates sober seems like this impossible task, because you're like, oh my God, this is so awkward. What do I have to talk about? But if you're sober and sitting in that awkwardness is the most you can be. And there are some things that you don't do in the beginning, like you kind of try to not overwhelm, because we talked about this. There's things people kind of need to get used to. They need to understand you first before they understand parts of you that might be a little difficult. But like, worst case scenario, if ever in doubt, just be yourself. I think that's.
Yeah. There's no need to run a marathon for a girl, you know? You don't have to do that.
But also
you can.
You get fucking jacked.
But also you can do that.
Really fucking cool. Good, fun topic.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, man. Well, this one goes out to Lily from Duolingo. If anybody got her digits, Dan would love to have them. And thank y'all for listening in. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to jump in and do the fucking outro, dude.
The outro? Oh, yeah, dude. I'll do the outro. Yeah. See you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We already said all this.
Just it's like a natural flow.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, bro. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you dug the stories. Do not run a marathon for a chick. Or do it. Who cares?
Or do it. Lily likes it.
Yeah. Lily likes it.
Lily likes it.
I like Lily. What are you talking about? All right, that's enough. We should wrap now before I start saying some bad things. I'm a FaceTimer right now. Think I won't?
Oh, I know you will.
If I can unlock my phone. Oh, here
we go. It's already getting blood rushing.
Hola, ¿cómo estás hoy?
Hola, mi amor, estoy bien. ¿Y tú?
She's so hot.
Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Te gusta la música?
She's eating this up. Sí, me encanta la música.
Ah, te encanta la música. A mí también. ¿Tocas algún instrumento?
No toco instrumentos, pero puedo cantar.
Está bien. Cantar es genial. Bueno,
dude, she's digging on you, bro.
Vale.
Hasta pronto, mi amor.
Adiós.
Dude, the way she smiled.
She smiled.
I don't think she does that on my.
No? Oh, dude. You see how stoked I just got? Wait, she doesn't smile at you, bro. She smiles at me.